Hello everybody, welcome to Gaming Respawn. My name is Will, and today you join me as I preview Dungeons 3 for PC. For those of you who don't know, like me, Dungeons is a series that is, well, a game basically about building your own dungeons, and you may notice it's very similar to another famous game about building dungeons, namely Dungeon Master. Oh no, Dungeon Keeper. Dungeon Master, what the fuck I'm talking about? No, that's a D&D thing, isn't it? Ha! I'm a foolish fool. But yes, as I said, it's very similar to Dungeon Keeper. Down to building, you know, your dungeon. You do it in squares. It's on a tile-based sort of thing. And so we're going to take a look at it. As you can see, I've already started. This is one of the campaign missions. I thought it'd be good to get straight into it, so you can see what was going on. It's very simple to play. Oh, this is a good example of me not being prepared for this at all. Ugh, I am really not. I'm like totally boned today. I have one fucking orc on guard duty. Basically, the way everything is controlled is done through left and right clicks, basically. I imagine there are some keyboard shortcuts, and I know that you can control the camera with WASD, which is always good, because it means that, you know, you can look around. But for the most part, you just left-click and right-click things. So, like, I'm going to my room menu here to build. I can build different rooms. When I'm done with that, I right-click to get rid of it. If I open my war menu after I've click on these guys to pick them up and control them, I can press right-click to close the menu again. It makes things very simple. I imagine that I mean, it doesn't take a long time to pick up. I have played approximately 2 story missions so far, and I think like one kind of. Well, I ran through the tutorials. The tutorials are very well done and put together, and there's a voiceover who isn't saying much right now, who also is quite funny, who will teach you how to play the game. There's a lot of sort of humour to it as a game as well, which is quite interesting. Is that I say it's interesting. They've decided it needed more than just being Dungeon Master, you know, Dungeon Master. Why do I keep doing that? It's not Dungeon Master, it's Dungeon Keeper. I should know this. I've played Dungeon Keeper 1 and 2 to death 100 bajillion times. Incidentally, you might think that would translate to being good at this. It does not. This game can be incredibly challenging at times. I've got myself in a bit of an odd position at the moment in that I have like no money left and my usual resources, like collection areas, are empty, which leaves a few spots at the very sort of arse end of the map to actually do stuff in. And a lot of my sort of worker drones, these little guys here, kind of occupied with other shit. So I've kind of fucked myself over a little bit here. What do you want? Have you not got a bed? We'll go and fucking be on guard duty then, you little wanker. Okay. Probably should explain the actual mechanics of the game for those of you who aren't veteran dungeon keepers. Effectively, you control this giant floaty hand. And you first start out with approximately 3 of these little guys here. They are snotlings, I believe they're called. Let me just double check on that one. Did it say? It does not say what they're called. I assume, I imagine they're called snotlings. I can check, though. There's a thing called an almanac, which is super useful. So I can just go and check these things. Okay. It's not a horde, nor is it a demon. Yeah, a little snot. Snotling is pretty much the same fucking meaning, so I'm going with snotling. Sounds better to me. They are basically your worker drones. They require no resources to keep alive, and you can just pretty much do whatever the fuck you want with them. They will, they will do whatever you tell them to. Obviously, they're responsible for digging out, in this case, gold, but also just your rooms and stuff in general. So, like, obviously when I started this map, these were big open spaces, and I used all of my dudes to dig them the fuck out. So I'm just picking up as many of my guys as I can, because unfortunately I haven't got enough people on guard at the moment, which means that whenever fucking people enter my dungeon, I just immediately get my shit wrecked. It may be worth, now that I think about it, actually, taking everyone who's currently available and dumping them in the guard room, because it's just, until I've got myself sorted out, I can't go back up top, which is an element I will explain to you shortly. So yeah, effectively what you need to do to beat the game, or to beat each level, is take over or complete your objectives. So like usually taking over good locations. In this case, I have to conquer 3 good locations as my bonus objective, apparently, and unleash the energy of the Gehenna Stones, which I have not done a single one of yet. Because I've been doing my bonus objectives. It's going a bit slowly though, because I spent my money on foolish things. To do this, you build up rooms. So you start out with just this room here and maybe sort of a corridor. It depends on the level you're playing, basically. And you first have to dig out the several rooms that are necessary. Obviously, some of these are for building things or for special kinds of units, like this one is. But you need the 3 things you need to start with are a treasury, which is where all your gold gets stored, because it needs to be big enough to hold all of that gold that I definitely have. Oh dear. We have, this is a gobbler farm. Gobblers are these little turkey sort of chickeny looking things, which you need to feed your army. Not the snotlings, as I say, they don't really require food or anything. For some reason, they just sort of, hang around. And a hideout, this thing here, a place for all of your actual soldiers who need things to sleep. And it's taking them a long time to harvest this fucking gold up here. And it's not going fast enough. I'm kind of boned if I don't get my hand on some more resources soon. Because everything costs money. Like, a lot. And I don't have any. So, this might have been a good choice for my first impressions preview video. But I thought it was good to sort of show you that it is very, very possible to screw yourself over. This is in no way the game's fault. I have just ruined myself here by making foolish choices when it comes to how I spend my money. I know you can steal money, kind of, by exploding people. Oh, grab one. I'll show you that. I know you can, as far as I'm aware, you can steal money, sort of. So that, you don't have to just make it all by digging things, although that is your primary source of income. Oh, that doesn't sound good. A dragon's nest, eh? Oh, they're only little. That's fine. You guys want to go and handle that, or... No? Okay. Yeah, basically, when someone is put on guard, they're supposed to respond to any sort of enemies. But, they don't always do that. Sometimes they just kind of... There we go. Sometimes they just kind of hang around until they, have noticed there's an enemy in the first place. Well, that was easy. I probably am in a relatively good enough position now to go and take on something on the above lands. So what I'm going to do is hire a couple more naggers and just grab everyone if I can. No, I don't want... Let me just click that. And I shall demonstrate to you guys the very interesting element of this, which was definitely not present even in Dungeon Master. And here we are. This is it. As well as being able to control a dungeon, the game becomes an RTS as soon as you get above ground. Now I'm going to give it a second, purely because some of these guys are damaged and I've got naggers that can heal, so I'm going to let that happen. But there are some enemies over here, and yeah, so the good thing about this is, obviously, kind of, it adds an element to it. It's not just making and defending a dungeon, which, would get, a bit old if they just did that again. But as well as that, it means that you can actually see when people are going to invade your dungeon, because they, in real time, before they enter your dungeon, have to walk across the wasteland and then enter this giant skull mouth thing you can see here. Let me just select my main person, because she can do fireballs, so... and obviously, you can see, it just basically becomes an RTS. You can select different sort of groups. You can shift-clicking gets rid of them, or you can just drag independent groups like such. Oh, there are enemies. How did they get in there? Well, this is bad. All my soldiers are up top. I should probably do something about this. There we go. Everyone except for you three. Because you three need to get back into the dungeon as quickly as possible. Because of that, yeah. This is what you're supposed to protect. It was kind of a risk to bring all of the soldiers I had available out with me. But at this point I was just like, what's the worst that could happen? I can see guys as they come by. But There you go. Come on, guys. You can do this. And hopefully they'll take them on without getting their asses handed to them, because they've all leveled up quite significantly. While I divert my attention back to the overworld where I've got stuff to do. This is one of the main mission things, is to do a stone thing, and it'll give you mana, which is nice, because that's an element that they mentioned in the tutorial, but that I don't have access to straight away. Oh, shit. Not a problem. It's unusually quiet for a voiceover at the moment. Usually you can hear it quite well, but the noise of the fucking whatever it is that she's doing is drowning it out slightly. But that's where a lot of the comedy comes from, is sort of interactions between the player and that voiceover narrator, and between Thalia, the main character, I guess. And the voiceover as well, they're quite funny. Also the fact that she's a dark elf and has been raised to be good, but that she keeps, like, having moments where she's like, I don't want to be evil. Yes, you do. Okay, I do. It's quite funny, I'm not gonna lie. I will say, however, there has been a lot of references, and we're talking just a lot, right? There have been references to, like, obviously a lot of fantasy movies and books, but also just completely random things. Did you guys die? What happened? How did... no, hang on. They can't be dead, because if they were dead, then I wouldn't have 13 to my army, so where are they then? What are you doing? Get over there and fight them. Thank you. Jesus. Can't get the help these days. I'm gonna go back on the ground because I can't fucking hear a goddamn thing that these voice people are saying. Yes, I know, I am aware of that. Thank you. If you guys leave, thank you, for fuck's sake. My only problem is I don't have any healers down here because they're all up top. And kill the fucking wizard. We done? We done here? Good. You guys are useless, but you are also all on guard duty now, because you're the only people left.
It's done. The seal
There.
is broken.
The seal is broken. I was fucking not here for that, whatever. See what I'm saying about this sort of wishy-washy thing she's got going on right now.
You still here? Oh, come on. Can't you pour your heart
She's like Gollum, fucking hell.
Talia was occupied with herself.
There you go.
Then the seal was completely broken.
Meaning that we should be getting mana now, I assume.
A strange world opened in the dungeon.
Did they?
From them, a few extremely committed demons immediately sprang, ready to serve the releasing from exile evil.
Did they?
The Gehenna stones contained a ruthless and mighty magic that not only
Which is now draining because of these demons I
was
built earlier.
very dangerous.
The demons are interesting units, because when they die, they will automatically come back again, when you've got mana to revive them with, so luckily that's what's now currently happening. Which will give me a couple more units for my fucking guard room while I go and conquer the above lands. I mean, I've got a fair fucking whack of dudes here. I'm going to have to go and take on some more structures or something, because I don't want to accidentally finish the main mission before I've finished the bonus one. I guess actually though I should just head up north, because like even if I take out 2 of them, it still leaves me 1 Gehenna stone left to deal with. But for now, let's see what's happening down here. We have demons. We have 3 demons, in fact, even though I don't have space for 3 demons. I'm okay with this. Where are they? They're on the demons panel. So yeah, as you could probably tell, the this war panel is divided even into 3 different areas. You've got your builders. There's like all these sort of support units. You've got your warriors, otherwise known as your horde, and then finally you have your demons, which are separate because they're weaker. As you can see, lost a lot of health just from fighting like one dude. They are very weak ranged units, but that's because they can revive themselves pretty fucking quickly and stuff. If I had the money and all the space in my army, I would hire another Naga, because as I say, those guys are super good at healing like other units. So I tend to try my best to keep at least a Naga on guard duty, because it's like super necessary to keep all of your guys healed. Okay, come on, don't be that dumb. You got shit to do. It's just a barrier. It's not even blocking you. You can just walk around it. Number of guardians, yeah, whatever. Not gonna be particularly difficult. Again, I'm not going to hang around here because it's just
Had already
noisy.
prepared for this.
I don't think there's... Yeah, well, that needs fucking repairing at some point. I haven't quite figured out how to repair traps yet. I don't know if my work drone people do it by themselves eventually, or...
Talia,
Don't know.
please, stop doing this.
Um...
Return to the light.
suppose while I'm waiting for her to do whatever the fuck it is that she's doing, I can explain some of the other elements of the game to you. So, obviously you start out, you have a limited selection of rooms to build. I think you literally start out with just the treasury. It's the only room you can build. But once you have some money, you can go into your research menu. Now, obviously I've done a bit of research here already, but this is, well, yeah, I mean, it's where you improve pretty much everything. Like, you can upgrade your main character. I'm not going to do that because I really don't have the gold to spare on her, and she seems fine. You can increase how many creatures you can have in your army, how many little snots you have. With the creature cap, when you increase it, it doesn't automatically hire people for you. You have to do that manually. But with the little snots, they just also, like, as soon as I paid $7.50 for this research, they would just pop into existence. So, you know, there is that. There's workshop, oh, well, I mean, you can read it there, I guess, if you want it. It just shows you how to, there's fighting in the dungeon, what's happening? Is there more people here? Oh, never mind, it's all fine. Yeah, obviously, like, the workshop is where you build toolboxes, which makes things like, you know, these spike traps here, which are just broken completely. It's also where you can build, like, machinery and things, like, I don't know which one of these is the one, I think that's the trap-making machine, which requires these boxes, and this is the thing that makes the boxes. Obviously, there's rooms like this, the portal room, which is where there are demons too. Where there are demons, where you make demons, effectively, and where they, like, come back to once they're dead. Do you like that? So put this dick up and put it back in there.
Actually, I was about to.
Good grief, just shut up.
Why for some reason can I not make these guys move? I don't. Thank you. What the fuck happened there? See what I'm saying about the references now? Winchester Brothers, Buffy, Charmed, you know. Just referencing fucking fantasy and magic shit. I was talking about rooms, I believe. Not what this symbol's about. Destructive magic. Oh, cool. Well, hilarious. Obviously, as I say, there was also other rooms available in the tutorial, which aren't available right now. Because you only have certain rooms per whatever mission type you happen to be doing. So for this mission type, there is only a very limited selection of rooms. Usually there are more than that. Like, for instance, I don't just have to, in this campaign mission, I'm kind of learning about the mana, I guess, is what it's supposed to be doing, even though I did the tutorials, but whatever. Normally, you can build your own sort of room that will just generate mana freely. Or at least it seemed that way from the last tutorial mission, which is kind of an entry test or whatever that you do to sort of prove that you've learnt enough. And so that saves you from having to, like, constantly be going around to different portals and, like, getting them so that you can earn mana from them. You can just sort of, you know, get more constant mana. Oh, you may have noticed there's another thing on my menu here. This is evilness, which is a measure of, well, how evil you are, I guess. You use it to buy upgrades, effectively. Oh, dear. Someone's gone on strike, that can happen. And there aren't any gobblers left, and I don't know why. I don't know how to make that better, to be honest. Is it? Well, that's annoying, my phone just went off. This is something I don't quite understand, even though I did the tutorial, is how do I make my gobblers any better? Usually, I would imagine you can just upgrade them, but that's not an option at the moment. For some reason, you have to have a lecture hall. Again, something that was tutorialized earlier, but I don't have a lecture hall. At this point, I'm just not convinced if I need to... Can I destroy that? No idea. What's this thing? Can I get in? Oh. No, it moved. I have no idea what's happening. Yeah, as I say, normally you'd be able to build a lecture hall, which is something that unlocks more research for you. It's not been unlocked here, and I think at this point my best bet is just to finish the above all mission. I clearly have a big enough army to do it, and my own base is in no way in trouble, because there are enough guards to keep it going. Yeah. So, even if they are going on strike and having hunger issues, I don't really care. They'll be fine. I say the reason I bring this up at the moment anyway is because I imagine the reason that my Gobble Farm isn't sufficient despite its size is because it needs upgrading, but I can't unlock any more upgrades without Electrical. So, I imagine as we get further into the game, I will be able to do all the buildings that there are, not just the ones that it wants me to do. I'll be able to like build electricals and see, and this as well, they're looking for beer. That's another thing, as you level up your units, they have more requirements. Instead of just food and a place to sleep, you require food, a place to sleep, and beer, and presumably it goes beyond that at some point. That wasn't told to me in the tutorial, but I'm assuming it does. So I'm really hoping that as things, I mean, I'm guessing here this is another person who's striking because they're upset at me, but there's not a lot I can fucking do about it. I don't have any gold and no way of making any more. I have just nothing I can do about it. You know what? I'm just gonna go and take down the last fucking stone, and then it won't matter anymore because I'll have done the mission and finished the bonus thing. But yeah, it seems more like I think my issue with this map has been that I've been playing the long game with it when it was really not necessary for a starter, and it just ended up with me getting like trounced a bit because I've been fucking around too much, kind of like unlocking stuff that didn't need unlocking, and you know, it was a bit pointless basically. Oh, he's appeared. He's got no spirit. Hilarious jokes from the narrator there. Yeah, it's been a bit weird. Like usually, when the narrator's talking, you can hear him fine, but they've like really pumped the noise on this fucking whatever this is. What? Oh shit! I didn't even pay attention. I thought she'd be fine. Fuck me. Why is there so many dudes this time? Am I gonna have to start the whole fucking mission again? What's up with that? This is going poorly. How do I actually do this again though? Because she is dead. Right? I don't understand what's happening right now. Also, where are all of my underground soldiers? There are like 4 of them, and at least one of them is on. At least 2 of them are probably on strike. I don't have any fucking money. I've really fucked this map up pretty bad. But I really don't want to have to do it again, having said that, so like... nothing these guys can do. Gonna heal him? Or yourself? No, not gonna do anything. Okay. I tell you what, can I fire you? No. Not from up here anyway. You want to come back into the dungeon, guys, and then I can fire you properly out of a fucking cannon. Okay, she's on the floor. I have no idea how I go about resurrecting her. Oh, look, you're all on strike. I don't care. There is nothing I can do about this scenario. Oh, I fucked this up pretty badly here. Not gonna lie. I goofed pretty hard on this one. I spent far too much money on things that were unnecessary. I upgraded my fucking treasury for goddamn no reason. Look how big it is. Pointless. So as you can see, it's very, very possible to fuck yourself over. I would say though, don't take that away as if it's a bad thing. This was my fault. If I had done what I had done and still won, if anything, it would have meant the game was too easy. Even though this is like the second fucking mission you can do. I'm still hoping to recover it, but we'll see what happens because there's no guarantees. There is, as I say, plenty of tutorials. I think for now, I will come back to this at a later date and try and fucking fix just this whole mess. Oh, Thally's alive again. That's good news. Fucking dumbass. Throw you in the lot. Can I do that? No, I can't. Probably for the best. But yeah, I'm just going to save this one up. I don't need a new autosave. I've already got one here. Save, yes. And we're going to go back to the menu and have a look at some of the other things that are available there. So, Skirmish and Multiplayer are both grayed out. I'm assuming that's because, obviously, this is quite an early version. It doesn't come out until October 13th. So, I'm assuming these are features that just aren't available. I imagine that the Skirmish, however, is just going to be a case of single play. Like, you just do a match. You don't have to play through the campaign. Obviously, you've got the choice between main campaigns tutorials, and the tutorials are quite extensive. There's only 4 of them, but they do cover pretty much everything you're going to need to know. Obviously, if you've played Dungeon Keeper before, then you've probably got a pretty good idea of what's going down. There are also videos. These are the cutscenes that you have for, like, you know, going through story missions and stuff. I think that pretty much covers everything that's going on with the game at the moment. It's a sort of very much, in my opinion anyway, an improved version, a modern improved version of Dungeon Keeper. Now, I was like, this could get a bit of a backlash. Dungeon Keeper's a pretty fucking well-liked game, but I would say that it hasn't been released in ages. In fact, the last version we did have for Dungeon Keeper was a phone game, which was frankly awful. So it's good to see the genre continuing. I haven't played Dungeons 1 or 2, so I can't, you know, speak from a position of a fan of the series or say how much further things have come since the last few games. But I can say that it looks like the kind of game that you could happily waste a lifetime on. You know, it's very deep, it's very involving, but at the same time, it's not particularly difficult to sort of get into. I ran through the tutorials in about 20 minutes at most, something like that. And I will say that the like humour and stuff, despite me complaining about the fact that it's just a lot of references, does have some genuinely funny moments, and the guy who's doing the voiceover is quite a funny sounding guy. He does a good job of making it interesting to learn how to play the fucking game. So that's a bonus. So yeah, thank you for watching this preview of Dungeons 3. Feel free to go to the Steam page, which there should be a link for below, to pre-order it. It, as I say, comes out October 13th, 2017. And I don't know what other platforms it's available on, but it's about 4 weeks away until it unlocks, and it's about 25 to 30 quid, so it's not an expensive game either. Yeah, so as I say, thank you for watching. If you liked the video, don't forget to, click like, share it with your friends if you think they'll enjoy it, and subscribe if you want to see more of this sort of thing. So, yeah, thank you.